Have you ever felt like your brain is just stuck in low gear? Well, today we're diving into the Silva UltraMind ESP system. It's this whole set of techniques that claims you can tap into a deeper level of your own mind and basically change your life from the inside out. So, let me ask you something straight up. Do you feel like you're operating in your most effective state of mind? For things like creativity, solving tough problems, or even just trusting your gut? According to the Silva system, for most of us, the answer is a big no. And here's the why behind that. The system is built on this premise that, get this, 99% of us are basically living our lives in what's called the beta state. Now, beta's great. It's for getting stuff done, reacting to the world around you, but it's not where the magic of deep thinking or real problem solving happens. It's kind of like our default factory setting, but it's definitely not the high performance mode. So, how do we switch modes? Well, to get that, we need to look at the different operating systems of our brain. The whole Silva method is based on this idea of 4 distinct brainwave frequencies. Okay, so take a look at this. It breaks it all down so clearly. You've got beta. That's our normal, everyday go, go, go state. On the other end, you have delta, which is deep sleep. That's where the system says we can connect to a higher intelligence. And then there's theta, tied more to our body's internal stuff. But the one we're really interested in, the sweet spot, is right there in the middle, the alpha state. This is supposedly the ideal frequency for deep thinking, for reasoning, and for really tapping into that intuition. So the whole point of the system, the big goal, is to teach you how to intentionally shift gears, to go from that busy, sometimes chaotic beta state into this calm, super focused alpha state. We're not talking about just stumbling into it by accident like when you're daydreaming. We're talking about learning how to get there whenever you want. Okay, that sounds great, right? But how in the world do you actually do it? Well, the system has a very specific step-by-step process for getting to that inner level of consciousness. And here it is, the basic technique. They call it going to level. And really, it's a kind of guided meditation or relaxation. Step 1, you quiet your body. Step 2, you focus your mind, kind of push all the noise out. And then, the final step, you use a simple countdown, like 3, 2, 1, to help guide your brain from that busy beta down into the calm of alpha. All right, so let's say you've done it. You're in the alpha state. Now what? What can you actually do there? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. The system gives you this whole toolbox of techniques. Let's check out 3 of the most, mind-bending ones. First up, we have something called the mental video. So picture this. You've got a problem you're stuck on. When you're in that alpha state, you first play a little movie in your head of the problem as it is now. Then, right after, you play a second movie of the solution, exactly how you want things to turn out. The theory is, by doing this, you're basically programming your mind to find a path to that solution, and it'll give you hints through your intuition or maybe even strange coincidences.
Okay, next up is a really wild one called psychometry. The idea here is that you can program an object with an intention. Seriously, like you could take a pen, hold it, and in that alpha state, infuse it with the feeling of confidence. Then, when you take that pen into a big meeting, the idea is that it helps trigger that feeling of confidence in you. It's about programming your environment to influence yourself.
And for our third technique, we have broadcasting. And yep, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. We're talking about a method for sending your thoughts or a specific message to someone else over a distance without saying a word. The system describes it as a form of advanced communication, and it stresses that it's only meant to be used for good, helpful reasons. But these tools, they're not just about getting what you want or fixing your own problems. There's a much deeper philosophy that's really the engine driving this whole system. It takes it from just being a self-help guide to, something a lot bigger. And this quote, this really gets right to the heart of it all. According to José Silva, the guy who created the system, how well these techniques work for you depends entirely on your intention. If your goal is just selfish, you'll hit a ceiling. But if you have a real, genuine desire to help other people, to make the world a better place, that's what supposedly unlocks the real power here. So you see, the ultimate goal isn't just about managing stress or getting a promotion. It's about using these skills to connect with what the system calls a higher intelligence. Think of it as your deepest intuition or maybe a spiritual guide. The point is to find your true purpose, your mission in life, and then use that to help create, as they say, a paradise on earth. I mean, the ambition here is pretty profound. So let's just quickly run through that one more time. The whole journey is this. You start out in that normal, everyday beta state. Then you learn how to intentionally drop into the focused alpha state. Once you're there, you use these really cool tools like mental video or broadcasting. And the whole time, you're guided by a purpose that's bigger than just you. And I want to leave you with this one last thought, which comes straight from the source material. It's a total reframing of a term we all know. You know ESP, extrasensory perception? Well, what if it doesn't mean that at all? What if it actually means effective sensory projection? The idea that you're not just passively receiving information, but you're actively projecting your thoughts and intentions out into the world to shape your reality. Now that is a powerful idea to chew on.